Once there was a boy named Arif. Arif was ordinary in ways the world doesn't reward. He wasn't the smartest in school. He wasn't the funniest in the group. He wasn't the most confident speaker. When arguments happened, he stayed quiet. When others bragged, he listened. When chaos rose, he stayed still. People misunderstood him. They thought he was weak. They thought he was afraid. They thought silence meant submission. But they were wrong. Arif wasn't silent because he had nothing to say. He was silent because he chose when to speak. One afternoon, everything tested him. At work, a colleague took credit for his effort, publicly, laughed, smiled, accepted praise that didn't belong to him. Arif felt it. The heat, the tightening chest, the words forming sharp and ready. Everyone waited. They wanted a reaction. One sentence could have humiliated the man. One outburst could have felt satisfying. And for a moment, Arif wanted it. But instead, he breathed. Not because he was scared, because he understood something others didn't. So he said nothing. People smirked. Some shook their heads. That night, Arif sat alone, replaying the moment. Anger knocked again, and again, but he didn't open the door. Here's the truth no one teaches. Self-control doesn't feel powerful. It feels uncomfortable. It feels like swallowing words. It feels like walking away when your ego screams. It feels like choosing long-term respect over short-term relief. That's why most people don't practice it. We live in a world that rewards reaction, fast replies, instant outrage, quick pleasure. But control? Control works silently, and silence doesn't trend. Arif's life looked boring from the outside. He woke up early, not to post about it. He worked without announcing it. He saved money while others spent to impress. He listened while others interrupted. No applause, no validation. There were days he wanted to break, to shout, to indulge, to let go. But every time he remembered something his father once said. If you can't control your impulses, someone else will control your life. So Arif practiced control where no one was watching. He controlled his tongue, his anger, his desires, his time. Slowly, something changed. People began to notice, not loudly, subtly. When tension rose, eyes turned to Arif. When decisions mattered, his opinion carried weight. When chaos spread, he stayed calm. Because here's the secret. Control creates space. Space creates authority. While others burned bridges with words, Arif built quiet respect with restraint. Years passed. The loud ones burned out. The impulsive ones repeated mistakes. The emotional ones stayed stuck. Arif moved forward, slowly, steadily. He didn't chase pleasure. He didn't chase revenge. He didn't chase approval. He chased mastery. And mastery is patient. One day, the same colleague who once stole credit came to Arif, humbled, nervous. "Can you help me?" he asked. Arif smiled, not with pride, but with calm. Life had done what anger couldn't, and Arif understood something deeply. Self-control doesn't fight battles. It lets time do the work. Why self-control beats motivation? Motivation is loud. It fades. Self-control is quiet. It stays. Motivation depends on mood. Control depends on choice. You don't need to feel disciplined to be disciplined. You don't need to feel calm to act calm. You just need to pause. That pause is power. Look around. Broken relationships, ruined reputations, regretted messages, missed futures. Most weren't caused by a lack of talent.
They were caused by one uncontrolled moment, one reply sent too fast, one urge followed, one emotion obeyed. Self-control would have changed everything. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The world rewards those who can delay gratification, who can stay calm under pressure, who can say no to themselves, who can endure discomfort quietly. These people don't announce their strength. They don't need to. It shows over time, in their peace, in their progress, in their presence. You will face moments where no one would blame you for reacting, moments where giving in feels justified, moments where silence feels like weakness. That's when the story is written. Not in what you say, but in what you don't. Not in what you take, but in what you refuse. Not in the noise you make, but in the control you keep. Power isn't dominance. It isn't volume. It isn't force. Real power is restraint. The ability to sit with discomfort and not let it decide for you. The ability to feel emotion without becoming it. The ability to wait. If you master self-control, anger stops controlling your relationships. Impulses stop controlling your future. Opinions stop controlling your self-worth. You become calm in chaos, focused in noise, steady in storms. And that calm, that's intimidating. Arif never became famous, but he became free. Free from regret, free from impulse, free from emotional slavery. And in a world addicted to reaction, that quiet control was the loudest success of all.